Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for honoring our invitation and for accepting to attend our second annual public lecture organized by the Chevening Alumni Association of Uganda.
Today's event is a culmination of work we have been doing since September last year on the project entitled Shaping Leadership and Governance.
When it comes to leadership and governance, the issue is not knowledge. People know a lot. The issue is not skill. People are incredibly skilled. The issue is the heart. We need to start taking matters of character, and here I know we've talked about ethical and accountable, and I'm using the word character there to represent that. We need to take the issue of character serious, individually, but also corporately. We cannot bury our heads in the ground and think character no longer matters.
So if we want to be accountable, we want to tell the truth, we must start by not fearing the people we lead, associate with them freely, work with them, then help them to guide us on what we do. Many of you have good ideas, but you have no opportunity to take them to your leaders so that your leaders can transform the society, which is the objective of this alumni. One of the challenges of Africa, of third world, of weak people, is because we are very weak in participating in shaping the future. I want to applaud Chevening for organizing or for trying to reach out to people, trying to shape them so that the future probably could be bright, not for them, but for all those that are going to live.
If we are at a time where we need action, what solutions are we bringing on the table? Well, we have seen weak leaders, we have seen leaders who fear, we have seen people who lack confidence, we have seen leaders who have compromised, who have been involved. And when you take it back to the topic of ethics, corruption these days happens because of degeneration of these ethical values and principles.
We have to redesign our public institutions. Why, in the name of Christ, do you have 1.5 million electable positions in a country this size? Now, why do you have such a top-heavy political establishment? You're not building a leadership class. That is just an affluent class. And we have to think about what public institutions are deserving for the future. So let's take some personal responsibility, because nothing will change, even these values we're talking about, unless we practice them, we take them seriously.
In this country, you put in place institutions, but you don't allow them work. And then you put there people that will not do what you don't want them to do. It does not matter what the law says. Recently, the current IGG Betty Kamya proposed a lifestyle audit, and it was in front of President Museveni, and he said, no, you cannot do that. You're going to scare them from here. They will steal and go and invest outside Uganda. They still invest outside Uganda, because if they invested in this country, and we've had some people make those arguments that we get back, I think Andrew Mwenda is the one that has made it, that they invest here in what?
I think it's not enough to talk about these principles when we cannot actually live the talk. You talked about integrity. There are certain things we do, even at the level we are at, and realize it is, shameful. So we don't get embarrassed anymore by doing certain things, but we do things that are embarrassing. We also don't get embarrassed. Now, what messages are we sending? Unfortunate reality in Uganda is the people have been pointed out to be corrupt. People have been pointed out to be incompetent. People have been pointed out to do the worst or the most heinous of these, crimes, are the same people are rewarded by promotions, by being put in other places. So as a young person, as a young leader, what message should I get? That means I have to know that for me to be promoted, I also have to be corrupt.
When you are talking about leadership and what is happening right now, you must put it within the context. What is leadership? Leadership is not about yourself. Leadership is intrinsically and naturally about others. Because when you are defining leadership, you say ability to motivate, to mobilize others to realize a common goal for all of you. Okay? That's what leadership is about. Therefore, whoever is in leadership should be driven by service to others and service to God. And they must be having a specific vision and passion to realize that vision for the good of others and not yourselves.
Some of you, when you become parents, you take it for granted that children must be raised properly. And we as teachers or lecturers, we face a lot of problems when we receive these young men and women in class. So the discipline at home is really a very, very big problem. We can talk about leadership, we can talk about politics, but remember, we come from our homes to become leaders. This is where we come from. So you have these entitled people, you send them to university, they actually don't want to even put in work to study or to understand how society is. And at the end of the day, what do you get? You have people who do not even know what to do.
In a country where criminals are given patronage, what do you expect? It is chaos. Where are we? What would the military be doing if the constitution was really important? We would not see the military, the police, and other security organs firing at people. They wouldn't. But the military, the police, security agencies are now creating chaos. What they forget is that they may think they have the guns, but there are times when guns may not work, and that time can come.
Let me tell you, no dictator has ever managed to rig an overwhelming defeat. Nobody can rig an overwhelming defeat. Go out, participate. If you want contest, if you can't mobilize, just tell people to vote out NRM, regardless of who else is competing. We need a protest vote, overwhelming defeat, and it's possible. We don't all need to make noise, just to go and do the right thing, or it will catch up with all of us.
I just want to appreciate all of you for coming this afternoon. I hope you found it fruitful and productive. The theme is really, really quite impressive, and we hope that the discussions go beyond this room and that we can really see leaders that we all aspire to be.